it here. It's an amazing place to live, especially that you can feel like you are all the time in vacation.
Almost like it's a sin to be happy. You shouldn't be happy. So it's a lot of blame and guilt. We are so happy and grateful that it happened that way. Grateful for everything which led to that moment. And we are in a different country. Our language is not that perfect. The culture is completely different. How we are going to bond with other people?
In 2013, our boys were born, and we decided that this is a good moment to think about moving here permanently.
Finding or attending a church when they moved to Florida wasn't necessarily on their minds. Wojtek grew up in a very religious family, but had questions that went unanswered. And going to church was just not a big part of growing up for Marta.
Churches in Poland, they don't create communities. It's completely, this is what it was new to us. We didn't know that you can choose to become a member or not. In Poland, the place you live belongs to the church and you're automatically a member. You cannot be not a member.
Being more of tradition than a faith for Marta and Wojtek, they were ready to leave church going behind, thinking that churches and religion would be the same in the United States.
I mean, I didn't realize that the religion may look different than in our country. I knew that there is God, but I thought that the one we have in Poland is not that God. So I would never come, to a Catholic or Christian church.
Until one day when they were looking for a new school for their son Alex. One of their employees had suggested that they check out Divine Savior Academy, which is connected to a Wells Home Mission Church.
Our employee, he was so happy with the school, and he told us about that school, and we scheduled a tour. And as soon as I walked in, I knew that this is the school. And I was so happy and so relieved.
Soon after the school year began, Alex's class was scheduled to sing in church on a Sunday morning. And he asked his parents and twin brother to come.
I wasn't excited about it, that wow, I have to go to the church. And also his twin brother has some health issues, so he is not patient and his behavior is really tough. So I was like, not only we have to go to the church, but it's going to be an hour. How Max will go through that? It was something, the worst thing you have to do that day, which turned out to be the best thing in your life.
By providing quality, private school education, Divine Savior creates an opportunity to connect with their Delray Beach community and tell them about Jesus. Because people in their area may not necessarily be looking for a church, but they are, most likely, looking for a good school for their kids.
The reason our sign out front says Divine Savior Academy and Church is because our academy, our school, is by far our largest mission arm. And that is the way that we are inviting and engaging the community to engage with us and to meet us and to meet and God willing to receive the news about Jesus Christ that we know they need.
By connecting with families that bring nearly 200 children to school every day, Divine Savior has been able to connect with many new people, and the church has grown. So much so that they now need to figure out how to manage that growth.
How do we provide more Bible studies for them to keep growing? How do we organize and engage them as volunteers to get involved in their life of Christian service? How do we engage that and organize it all? And it's more work than I can just do alone.
So as their ministry matures, Divine Savior has taken the next step to enhance their ministry in order to reach this new demographic through their school. In spring of 2022, Divine Savior was approved for funding from Wells Home Missions in order to call a staff minister. With this enhancement, Divine Savior is better equipped to reach out to community members through their school, like Marta and Wojtek.
We just came there to see our son. We didn't expect anything else, and we were so surprised and we were so impressed.
And on that very day, she came up to me after the church service and asked where she could learn more. We just had started a Bible instruction class. I said, how about tomorrow night? And she's like, I'm in.
I got intrigued and I thought like, that's the time for me to learn about the Bible.
I would say I was not super convinced to start that time, but when I see how actually Marta is changing and how much she's getting out of this course, I decided to join it, and I even invited my sister, that she's visited currently from Poland, to join the study as well.
Since then, Marta, Wojtek, and Wojtek's sister, Justina, have all become confirmed members of Divine Savior, a church where both law and gospel is preached, where they hear about more joy than guilt every single week, a staple of Wells Home Mission churches all over North America.
The beautiful thing about mission churches is it's the kind of environment where kind of maybe everyone is new. We're all figuring this out together, and there's a lot of people around North America who so desperately need to hear about Jesus and come to know him. And the more mission churches we can have in the more places where there are people like that, the greater blessing that's going to be, and the more opportunities we're going to be given by the dozens, by the hundreds, to find those people who so desperately need Jesus in their lives.